Hey everybody, this is Dean and welcome to Photo Blue. Today I thought I'd show you how to save and export photographs in Capture One. Capture One is a non-destructive photo editor. So non-destructive photo editors either save their changes to a database or to a file, a separate file from the original. So it never really touches the original file. So when you want to save the changes and be able to move it with the photograph, you've got to save it to a different format, or if you want to apply the changes to a photograph so that you can use it elsewhere, you need to save it to a usable format. With raw images, you only use raw images for editing, and so if you need to use it for a website or for something else, you might want to save it to a JPEG or another format. So the first thing, we have a photo selected here, and we're going to go up to Export. And the nice thing about the export program is you can actually save or export to multiple formats. There's some export recipes which we will use up here. We've checked off the TIFF and the JPEG. You can actually add or save your own particular recipes if you want a particular format for a particular purpose. So we're going to go over the attributes down here. The first thing is you'll want to save to whatever location you want to save to. I've already got it selected here, but you can choose a folder down here, or you can go to the default location, or you can save it same as original. In this case, I have a folder called Capture One Exports that I created that I'm saving it to. Now, the next thing down here is the naming convention, and by default it puts the image name, which is the original image name, and it will change the ending tag for the format. So if it's JPEG, it will put JPEG at the end. If it's TIFF, it will put TIFF at the end. We can go in here and customize this, and for example, we can go here and say I want to put Photo Blue in front of this. And put Photo Blue and just a dash to separate it. I can also put a dash here, and I can go down here and add the date to it. And there are different date formats we can put on there, and there are different things that we can put on here with these tags as well that will change depending on what the tag is. For example, if you put the month or the date, it's going to change depending on what month or date that you're generating the export. So we're gonna go with that. Now, if we want to do this on the TIFF, because we also have the TIFF checked off, remember, I can go here to where it says TIFF, and right here we have the format that it's going to save. It's just going to use the image name. I always like to put the image name in the export, and the reason is because the image name by default is like a letter or a few letters and a number that the camera generates. The nice thing about that is if you generate another file format and you leave that original image name in there, it makes it easier to trace back what the original raw image was for it. And if you have a lot of images and some of them are very similar and you're trying to find the original one that you edited, that's kind of a clue to it. So that's a nice way to name, or a nice convention to leave within the name format. You can also see down here when we click on TIFF, it gives us all of the different attributes we can change under a TIFF, and if I go back to JPEG, it will change it back to JPEG. We picked full-size highest quality, so it's already set that in the JPEG for us. We could put, like, if we wanted to do like 80% quality, we could actually create our own template for that as well. And then if we go down here, we have any adjustments like the crop. We're going to respect the crop. It's not going to add any additional sharpening. So all of these variables we can use in here to select how the export is going to be. And then we can add the metadata on it, or we can add a watermark onto it if we want to. The other thing we can do here is right now we have the scale fixed, so it's the same scale as it would. If we wanted to change the height, for example, we could change the height, and if we wanted to put it into pixels, we could do that. And the reason we might want to change the height is sometimes when people want photographs, like if they wanted it to be 1080p, you could change this right here to 1080 pixels. And so this would put it in the correct format so that the height was a certain format. A lot of photo contests and stuff will specify a particular height or a particular width, and so you can do that as well. You can also put the height and width there, and you can change by default I think it's inches, but we can change it to pixels. That's usually what's specified in most things. If we wanted to, so we could put whatever format we wanted there and specify that as well. But we're going to just use fixed, which will be the size the photograph is in now. So those are pretty much all the major attributes on here. You can actually go through here and change pretty much anything you want in here to get the final image. And all we have to do to get the final image is click this export button over here. So when I open up my exports folder, you'll see we have both of the photos there. One of them is TIFF format, one of them is in JPEG. In the JPEG one, we had put the extra things in the title that we wanted. That we in with the TIFF, we just used the old file name on it. So that shows you that we can actually do two of these at once. Now the other thing that we can do is we can go back and say we wanted to do multiple images or multiple photos at once. I could select them and I could hold down Control or Shift depending if they're in a row or if I just want to pick kind of them out of order, and we can actually select say 3 images here by highlighting them. And if we go to export, then we're going to go ahead, since we've already set the attributes that we wanted in both of these, and they're both checked already, what we're going to do is we're going to export them with those settings, and these are different images, so we're going to export 3 images. So then when we go back to our folder, and we're going to go down and we're going to hit refresh, and so it's brought in all 3 of those images, and it's put them both as a JPEG and as a TIFF. So you can actually do multiple images at once with this process. I'm Dean, and this has been PhotoBlue, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like.